College basketball bettors, welcome to the world famous Betflow. We're looking at the primetime schedule for Sunday night college basketball. I know a lot of you might be watching the NBA All-Star game or flipping back and forth, but looking for some true hoops value in a non-All-Star game fashion. We've got 98 flows for Monmouth versus Towson, and then Oregon State at Seattle. That's going to be 106 flows. We're going to do a quick preview on that game. And what is a flow, you might be asking yourself if you're new to Betflow? It's a data-backed bet trend. I'll show you one right now. We're not recommending this in any way. This is just the first flow, the first data-backed bet trend on the screen. What you see includes the greens and reds in the graph chart, the hit rate for the percentage, and then the sample size, whether it's head-to-head, last 5, last 10, last 20, last season. This particular one says, at least for last season, Oregon State scored more than 29.5 points in the first half in 29 of 32 games last season. Now this season, if we go this year, 74% for that number. You can look at last 20, you can go most recent for the last 5. This is what we do here at Betflow. So as we're scrolling through these data-backed bet trends, let me let y'all know first and foremost, spread on this one, believe it or not, Seattle, -6.5. It just doesn't look right seeing that even at home. Oregon State won the first matchup earlier in the season, but Seattle is a quite substantial favorite here at -6.5. Over under in this one's in that 135 range, and that puts the team totals at about 71 and 64 respectively, starting with Seattle over under 71.5 and Oregon State at 64.5 for their team total. So how do we get to 135 first of all? If we're looking at a total standpoint, we'll kind of make this preview more about the pace and total perspective as we scroll through more of these data-backed bet trends. Bottom line, neither one of these teams looks to play with pace. That means their preferred pace is much slower than most modern college basketball teams. So to give you an example, 153rd in the country is Seattle at about 68 possessions per game. Oregon State is 295th in the country at about 71 possessions per game. 68 for Oregon State and 71 for Seattle. I don't want to make sure everybody realizes that Oregon State plays even slower than Seattle at 295th in the country at 68 possessions per game, as Seattle is 71 possessions per game at 153rd. Well, how does that stack up to the rest of the country? Right now, the leaders are at 78 and 77 possessions per game in college basketball. So these teams look to play much slower. It doesn't necessarily mean low scoring. Three-point line is always the great equalizer, but keep that in mind that the preferred pace for both of these teams is slow. Try the Trend Blender and more with a 7-day free trial. Full info in the caption.